Hi friends, this is Miss Erin and I am here today to show you guys how to make an apple pie. So this week we've been learning all about apples, so what better way to celebrate than to make our very own apple pie. In my house there's only 2 of us, so I am going to make a mini apple pie, so it's going to be a tinier one. So I found a little recipe for it, a small recipe for it that cuts it in half. And I posted that recipe on our class dojo so that you guys can all see it as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I skipped a couple steps, so I already chopped my apples for you guys, and I already have my ingredients laid out here so that we could just move along. So the first step is to chop your apples. So I have my bowl of apples chopped up, and I put a little bit extra. I used about 4 apples just because I know my pan is a little bigger and I want it to be very full of apples. That's how my family likes theirs. So in this bowl, I tried to put a flashlight here so you guys could see a little better. So I'm just going to turn it off now. So in this bowl, we're going to put our ingredients. So the first ingredient that we're going to be putting in is 1/4 cup of water. Then we're going to put in 1/4 cup of white sugar. The sugar is the most important part because it makes the apples taste super sweet. I'm going to put just a little extra. Then we're going to need 1 teaspoon of flour. So I have a teaspoon in here. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So cinnamon is also going to make the apples taste really sweet and delicious. So I have that here. Nutmeg is the next ingredient. So this nutmeg, we're only using a very little bit. We're using 1/4 of a teaspoon, so you can just kind of sprinkle it on. And then we're going to use 1 to 2 drops of vanilla extract. So this smells just like fall to me. I'm so excited to eat it. And then you're going to need 1 teaspoon of a juice of a lemon. So I'm going to show you how we do that. And definitely be making this with your family or your parent so they can help you. So you're going to roll the lemon to get the juice, and then you're going to cut it in half. You can cut it in half again. This way you can kind of chop the seeds out. You can pick the seeds out, and then we only need 1 wedge of the lemon for this amount of juice, so then we're just going to squirt it right on. This just kind of keeps the apples nice and fresh. Alright, so that's about good. And then we're going to use a spoon. We're going to mix all of this up. So your apples should be coated and they should be brown. The flour helps thicken this so that it becomes like a paste. We want it to have a softiness to it. I'm going to just taste test one of my apples. And I'm going to add just a little bit more of my nutmeg. And I'm going to add a little bit more cinnamon. Oops, that was a lot. And a pinch of sugar. You can kind of make it to preference. So now your apples are ready, and I'm just going to taste test one more. Perfect. The next step is to make the pie crust. So I made the pie crust ahead of time, just because pie crust can be a little tricky. And you can do that as well, or you can buy pie crust or whatever. So I grabbed it out of my fridge, and you need 2 pieces of it. And you're going to take a rolling pin, which I actually don't have, so I'm going to use a cup. And I'm going to make it nice and wide and thin. So this would work so much better if I had a rolling pin, but I do not. I need to get one. So because this is such a small apple pie, it is a lot easier because we don't have to roll it out perfectly. So I'm just going to spray my little pan. This is really tiny. So I'm going to spray it with some oil. And then I'm going to put the crust on the bottom, and I'm just going to spread it out until it fits. So if you're making a big apple pie, this is not something that you can necessarily do. You'd have to roll it out completely. But because mine's so tiny, it's really easy to kind of just move the dough wherever I want it. So I'm going to just put a nice little layer on the bottom. I'm going to pinch it up so it's easier to cut later. If you have enough dough to make it go up the whole way, that is the ideal situation, but I don't think I made enough. So we're going to make it like that. Then you're going to pour your apples in, and you want a lot of apples. So you want all of this. And just make sure you washed your hands, and if you did, then you can touch the apples and move them around. Alright, so it's looking good. My oven is preheated, so I'm going to move this aside and make the top of the pie crust. So you're going to warm it up in your hands, and I need to make some strips to go across the pie. It doesn't have to be too thick, you want it to be kind of thin. Alrighty, and then you are going to slice these. So you're going to get some 1-inch slices. And then you're going to put these across your apple pie. I should have put some flour down first. So you're going to put a layer like this, and then you're going to take the other strips, which mine are crumbling, so I'm just going to kind of make it work. I'm just going to kind of put some dough. So it doesn't have to be the most beautiful pie, it just has to taste delicious. So my pie looks a little funny, but it's good enough. Because I know that I didn't put a ton of pie crust, I'm going to actually sprinkle some brown sugar on top, mixed with flour to create like a crumble. So I have some flour and another bowl, and I'm going to scoop some flour and some brown sugar. I did 1/4 cup each, and then I'm going to mix it together. And then right on top of my pie, I'm just going to sprinkle this, and it'll kind of help make like a little crumble to make it look a little nicer and fill in all of the gaps. Pack it down, kind of. There we go. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake this in the oven for a little bit of time, and then I'll post a picture of it on Class Dojo. I hope you guys make the apple pie and enjoy it, and have a great day. Bye!